Welcome back to Eagle's Eye. I'm Sammy Stevenson,
And I'm Drew Baltris.
and we're here to introduce you to the interview with Mr. Smallbach about the graduation paper deadline.
Did you do your graduation paper?
Yes, I did.
That's good. Now you get to graduate.
Did you do yours?
I'm only a junior, so I don't have to worry about it just yet.
That sucks. I believe there's a second deadline that Mr. Smallbach's going to tell us about, so let's go check that out.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Palisano here with Mr. Smallbach talking about the graduation project. So what exactly is the graduation project?
Graduation project is a requirement that the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has in order for any student to graduate from any high school within Pennsylvania. It's a culmination basically of 12 years of academic progress, showing what it is you're able to do in terms of being able to write a paper and to speak to people about a topic.
Now, I know there's been one deadline, but what about the new upcoming one?
Well, our first deadline, which is the one where we hope that everyone would turn it in, was past October 2nd. And at that time, more than 85% of the senior class turned in their papers and are good to go. Now, for the remaining students who still owe the paper, the second deadline is now November 4th. And what happens is just, as it goes along, we unfortunately have to take away certain things that seniors would like to do. So those that did not meet our first deadline, which, like I said, thankfully most of the class did, they lose the senior banquet. Now, those that don't turn it in by November 4th are unfortunately going to lose senior prom. And normally, the rest of them do turn up then. But people need to be aware that we're only talking about 2.5 weeks or so, 3 weeks away, and that one needs to be in.
Is there a third deadline?
Well, after one has lost both banquet and prom, then there are other senior end-of-year events that can happen. And at that point, though, it really comes down to the fact that if you don't get it done, you're not going to graduate. It has to be satisfied. It is a rule of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, not just Norristown. Every high school in Pennsylvania, every student that wants to graduate has to complete this project.
Do the same standards go for the following years?
Yes, absolutely. We've been doing this now for quite a few years, and it will be continuing into the foreseeable future, unless Pennsylvania at some point decides we're not going to do it anymore. So until then, we have to do with what the state tells us to do, and that is what one of the requirements is in order to graduate, besides all the other things like scores on, coursework and things like that are in graduation project is one of those requirements.
Well, if you haven't gotten your graduation project in, make sure you get it in. I'm Elizabeth Palisano here with Mr. Smallbach talking about the graduation project. Now, back to Eagle's Eye.